I want you to leave the dream, and I want you to go to the desert. But wait, there's more. Philip, I want you not only to leave the dream and go to the desert, I want you to leave the dream, I want you to go to the desert, to one of the most desolate roads in that desert. You see, there was 2 roads from Jerusalem to Gaza. One of those roads was awesome. I mean, it was like the ancient day 35. There were great restaurants, there was great gas stations, there was even a Buc-ee's at some point, like along that route. I mean, it was just there, and you had it, and you always got to stop. God says, I don't want you to go there, I want you to go to the other road. I want you to go to the other highway, the one that no one's on. It was like a county road. We live off a county road, it's filled with potholes. It's like an FM road. It's one of those smaller roads. I mean, it wasn't the same. And then the Holy Spirit says this, I want you to go find this person. I want you to walk up and start walking alongside his chariot. I don't know about you, but I think that's kind of creeper to me. Like that's kind of a creeper move, Holy Spirit. Like, why would you want me to start stalking this guy in this chariot? But here's what happens. God moves. It would be like God calling you or me out of what he's doing in the midst of our city and the transformation, the breakthroughs and the freedom and all those kinds of things. It'd be like God calling you out of that and saying, I want you to leave Austin with great people and great food and a great culture and the live music capital of the world. And I want you to go to Jefferson. Like, God, what's Jefferson? Jefferson what? Is that a county? Is that in some other state? And God says, no, that's in East Texas. And you go to Google and you realize, oh, Jefferson, it's the bed and breakfast capital of East Texas. God, you want me to go there? You want me to go where? What? You want me to leave all that you're doing and go there? But what does Philip do? He listens, and he trusts, and he obeys. Here's the thing about God. Sometimes we find ourselves in the middle of what perceives to be a dream. And you're thinking, you're wondering, does it get any better than this? And God says, actually, it does. But I want you to leave the dream. I want you to go to the desert. You're saying, wait, what, Lord? You want me to leave all that I know, all that I have, all that I'm experiencing? You want me to go to the desert? And what we see again and again and again and again throughout the Bible is how God makes men, how God makes women in the desert. In those desert times, in those desert situations, in those desert scenarios, God makes great men and women during the desert. And it's what he does with Philip. It's what he does in this moment. He takes them down the road less traveled. He takes them to this moment. And let me explain this before we move on, because this is so key. This is what life in the Spirit is all about. It's listening, it's trusting, and it's obeying. That's what it all comes down to. It all comes down to those 3 things. And he shows up and he sees this man in this chariot who is a eunuch. And I, for lack of time, I don't have a lot of time to break that down. But the man wasn't allowed to be part of the Jewish religion because of his ethnicity and because of his medical condition. He'd been castrated, and because of his castration, he was not allowed to be a Jew. So here's this man who's been doubly rejected by Judaism. But because of Jesus, he now has this encounter with Philip. He now has this moment. And he sees Philip, and they have this conversation. And here's what happens. He begins to ask Philip these questions. He says, I'm reading this. Explain this to me. What does this mean? Is this talking about Isaiah? Is he talking about himself, or is he talking about someone else? As if God just puts the ball on the tee and says, son, swing for the fences. I put this one in front of you. And so he does. And get this, there's more. But wait, there's more. Verse 36. As they rode along, they came to some water, and the eunuch said, look, there's some water. Why can't I be baptized? You can, Philip answered, if you believe with all your heart. And the eunuch replied, I believe that Jesus Christ is the Son of God. He ordered the carriage to stop. He went down into the water, and Philip baptized him. You see, only because of Jesus could this man come into a relationship with God. It wasn't possible through the law. It wasn't possible as a Jew. He wasn't even allowed to be it. He was doubly rejected. But because of Jesus, he's welcomed. He's wanted. And so he comes to this moment where he gives his life to Christ on the chariot. He stops and says, let's get baptized. I would have loved to have been in the chariot in this moment. I would have loved to experience